Okay, boys and girls, let's have a chat. As we go up the hill, I was hoping you get to see Mount Lassen. You might see it. Briefly, it's kind of clouding up, so we'll take you up there someday. How's that? How's that? Oh, music. Sorry. So, yeah, I want to talk about Danny. Danny is such a big windbag. I can't believe her. Did you see her outside the Starbucks complaining? They're taking so long. Oh, that groaning she does. And like she just had a full bikini cut hysterectomy. My God, wait till she has something really wrong with her. You know? For real. Lisa is making an ass out of herself, but I can't stop laughing. The squeaky voice Lisa is back, followed by the immediate switch to growly Lisa. Love it. Love it. That's my favorite, you know. Gabby is just, wow. Well, we can tell she has no high school diploma. The Falupa tubes. Yeah. I'm sorry. It has nothing to... I've known doctors who had learning disabilities, severe dyslexia, and do you know, they learned tricks to speak, write, and read. If there's a will, there's a way. The problem is, I think Mimi told them, you can get by on your looks and your talent as singers and dancers. You don't need an education. Get yourself a rich man. Yeah. How'd that work out? She really failed those girls. Something horrible. Horrible. And I take it Danny wasn't valedictorian. Jesus. So we're going to go pick up the boys. They're going to be unhappy. Very unhappy. But at least they won't be making children or spraying. Next will be Cheeto, Terry's cousin. It was really funny. Hubs kind of got mad at me. He's like, why'd you buy 2 carriers? And I said, well, because I'm going to take 2 cats. And I think he thought I was going to stick them in one carrier. I'm like, dude, they don't even know each other. They might be father and son, but they don't know each other. They see each other in a window. So he was kind of grumbly at me, and I said, what if the zipper fails on one? Oh, yeah, okay. Quick thinking. And then I got the big 70-pound dog, large dog, you know, fabric, collapsible, kind of like it's just one of those little nylon kennels that a well-behaved dog could lay in. Or one Milo, though I could see him rolling in it. Poe was rolling in it last night, rolling it across the floor. If Terry is still sedated, I'm gonna put him in it for a little bit. It's not fair to just toss him outside where idiots drive like they're in the Grand Prix. So, hopefully I have enough memory to get to the animal hospital so you can see this will be 1/3 of my trip to my old house that I did from 92 to 2012, pretty much every day. Because if I wasn't going to work for 12 hours, I was picking up the kids at school, or, I mean, they rode the bus, but stepdaughter had migraines, so she would sometimes need a ride home often. But because because she was a key student in AP, they didn't care. She'd get A pluses and not go for like weeks. So I didn't mind picking her up. It was fine. And it sucks having a headache. I think they were more stress headaches, but so we're coming to the community we just moved from into the ghetto. This is where the house was, and this is where Milo's little manicure lady is, and where the kitty rescue is. I just donated a bunch of Milo's clothes, his little bodysuits when he was tiny, when we first got him, to keep his diaper on. Because I really didn't have pants that stayed on him like they do now because of his body, and he had just had surgery on his whizzle stick, so I had to get these little onesies. They make little dog post-surgery onesies, so I would put him in one each night. Otherwise I'd wake up and his diaper was in the bed with me. But this is where we were for 7 years after we left our house on the west side. Everybody moves around, unless you've been here and want to stay here, unlike us. But when I first bought my house, my old house, I wanted to be as high up as possible because I didn't want to live in the heat. I just couldn't take it. I can't take 118. So I went up the hill. It was either north or, there's Mount Lassen. It was either north or east. So I took east, which I was happy for because I didn't want to drive I-5 every day. This highway is probably one of the most deadly, though, because people get impatient, they pass you. And this highway is filled with logging trucks and idiots. All this area is cattle ranchers, emus, llamas. Though the llamas primarily are up higher, and quarter horses, lots of quarter horses, breeding, training. There used to be draft horses to the left, but not anymore. They sold them a few years ago. They had 8 Belgians, and they used to do pulls, but most of the land around here and up the hill is now for sale. You're going to see a lot of for sale signs, and that's because of fire insurance. All our homeowners insurance companies either jack their prices for fire insurance by 200%, or they just left town. Left county, left the state. Nobody wants to cover fires because this area burns every year. I mean, the whole county does. The whole freaking North State does. And actually, where the veterinarian's clinic is, the fire got within 2 miles. So it was like right behind them. Veterinarian's office is where you see the cinder cone. You'll see it in a second, which is Black Butte. One day I'll tell you the history of, because you know I was in school for mining engineering, but I also was a teaching assistant at the college here in geology for 2 years. Geology was my big love, and it still is. I still love geology. So we used to take students to Mount Lassen. We took them to Mount St. Helens. We took them to the coast. study different formations. So one day we'll do a Mount Lassen fun trip. Right now, Mount Lassen is actually, I think it's good. You'll see the sign in a second. It's the brown sign coming up. And the road is closed because we had a fire go through last year. And then there were mudslides all winter. So I don't think it's going to open this year because of all the fire damage. But you can see why there's accidents. This is just fucking crazy. I lost 4 windshields in like 1 year's time. Just because of Caltrans and fucking rocks. It used to be Caltrans would pay for your windshield, and then they got wised up to that. Though I had a snowplow one time. It was a new plowman, and he accidentally lifted the dump as we were going up the hill to my old house, and he was fully loaded, and it just dumped. And I lost my windshield. To the left. Oh no, just past that next loop we go up. This is the roller coaster. Whee! They're really fun. When the kids were little, I'd go, hands up, whee! No hands. So to the left, there are some cattle thieves. And I know this because there was a fire down here. And I was actively evacuating livestock. And we had somebody whose cow was, their bull, one of the mini bulls, a zebu, was stolen by a family right here. And dude pulled a gun on me. Me and this dude that was helping me. And said, get off my property. I said, well, you agreed to take care of this lady's cattle while she was evacuated. Yeah. Well, we need the other 2, the female and the male. I only have one. The male ran off. I'm like, no, he didn't. So I actually had the branding officer. If you don't know, branding officers for livestock are like law enforcement for livestock, and they have all the rights of everybody. So he drives up with his horse, and he took off with his horse and his gun and told the guy to put his gun away or else. And the guy grumbled and said, I'm calling my friends, and went inside. The branding officer went one way, and the dude and I was in the dude's truck because my tires were bald at the time, and I kept trying to get up this gravel hill, and I was spinning. So he goes, just leave the truck, get in my truck, we'll go grab it. Okay. So we go and we grabbed, it was the female Sparrow. She was the one that was stolen. And we grabbed the little bull. He was like 250 pounds. And we were in such a hurry, the dude plopped him on my lap. And I have a picture somewhere, I'll have to find it. The inside of my thigh had, like, as big as my hand, a fucking hoof print. Fucker tried to stand up, and I'm trying to shove him in the back seat while the guy's racing down the road, and I'm like, holy shit, I have a fucking bull on my lap, and it's freaking out, and we got away. So then we would go back every single weekend looking for the female, because the guy kept sticking to his story that the female just ran away, and she's breedable, and they're like trendy little mini cows. So jerks. This area hasn't burned. This little patch here has not burned for a couple decades, and it is absolutely ripe to go. Absolutely. There is probably a foot of slash on the ground, and these trees, these oak trees and digger pines, are dry as shit. And there is a lot of people. You don't realize how many people are back here. There are shit tons of people. You don't realize it. They're all hidden back here. Lots of meth labs. Not in this particular stretch, but in these areas, you don't see people, but they're there. They are there. It's an interesting area. I enjoyed living up here. I kind of miss it. It does get a lot of snow. Not down here so much. My old place up by Lassen, yeah. But you know what? We had a snowblower. I never complained. In my 13 years at the hospital, I called in one day, one snow day. That was it. And I actually had to use a snow day, and it was literally back there, that bridge we went over, a poop truck went off. He slid off and went down into the creek. And guy survived with a broken neck, but I wouldn't want to be in a poop truck and have an accident like that. He flipped upside down. And that was the only time. I must say, that day, I did look out my window, my front window, and I couldn't see across the street. It was blowing so hard. I don't miss this highway. I can do this highway absolutely blindfolded after so many years, but the people that drive on this highway are fucking ass wipes. And what's always funny is you'd get passed by Tonka trucks, the big lift trucks, and you'd go 2 miles and they'd be flipped over on the side, just honk and wave. They wouldn't hurt themselves. They all have roll bars. But you want to act like an ass hat, then fine. Enjoy your time in the ditch. But people have no patience. People die on this highway all the time. But one of these days, this area is gonna fucking go up. And it's too bad because there's a lot of elderly folk down here. And people clear, but the fires nowadays are different. I mean, I'm glad I'm retired. The fires now are absolutely frightening. The speed, the height of the walls, I mean, I'm used to fires, ember starts 3 miles, and now it's like 5.5. I don't remember this many tornadoes. I don't remember seeing walls as big as they are. It's just the beetle has attacked these woods. The drought over 25 years has attacked these woods. There's a whole subdivision to the right here. A whole subdivision. And you would never know it. Oh, and there's the sheriff. He always sits here, waiting to catch people. This area too, and to the east, to the north, we have 4 reservations. You have to remember, fire coverage out here is county. We have, of course, state, CAL FIRE, and then BIA fire. I've had the honor of working with BIA Fire, and they are awesomely trained people when they keep their mind to it. I've been on some reses that nobody was paying attention, and that's when you get into trouble. Oh, so when I get home, we're going to go over Danny and her recovery, the excruciating pain. And we're going to go over Gabby in her falupas. She really doesn't know anything about pregnancy and ovulation. I realized that. And that proves right there that she's never been a vet tech. She was a kennel aide. Because in college, they drill into you. That is a giant part of animal husbandry and veterinary nursing is ovulation and pregnancy because of breeding. You have to take genetics, for God's sake. She would never pass a statistics class in college. And we're gonna do a little Lisa. I think you're gonna like it. It's a funny. Here we go. Off to get the boys. So this would be 1/3 of my trip home every morning, because I always work night shift. 1/3. And if that tree wasn't there, you'd see the big black butte. It's right there. I mean, it's right there. And Mount Lassen is actually only 15 miles away. It just looks really far away. I don't get it. I mean, it is like right there. Right there. And it's really funny. If we went 2 miles up the road, all of a sudden you come to this clearing and it's like, poof, in your face. Big. Okay. Here we are at the lovely veterinarian's office. Hi, guys. Yeah. All right. I'm off to get Terry, and let's see how much time we have. Let's see how much time we have. I don't have my glasses. Oh, we have enough time. Okay. Hold on. I'll pause, and I'll come right back. Okay. Got the boys. Here we go. It's going to get loud in here. And Terry peed. He peed or he puked? I can't tell. It's just moist. Actually, it's very wet. On the bottom of his carrier that I just bought yesterday and had delivered. Love that 3-hour delivery. Okay.